True or false? The Lake Martin home sales are on track to have the fewest number of waterfront home sales in 10 years. By the way, I make videos like this all the time, so please like this video and subscribe so that I know that you're out there and that you're liking this content. Let me get right to it. So this is waterfront home sales on Lake Martin for the month of September 2022. So how's it going? Let's take a look. Home sales here, and this is not to scale, but in 2021, in the month of September, we had 33 home sales. So what happened in September of 22? It is actually down 21%, okay? And so we are experiencing, like a lot of parts of the nation, a decline, a little bit of cooling in our sales in Lake Martin for right now. So what about the inventory? I always like to look at inventory in the same time that I look at sales. So in 2021, last year, we had about 92 waterfront homes for sale, right? And what about this year? We have about 119. So inventory is actually up about 29%. Now that is still above our below our 5-year average. We're still our 5-year average is like about 180 or so homes. So we're still well below our 5-year average. But inventory is trending up about 29% from last year. Monthly home sales trending down about 21%. What about waterfront lots? This gets interesting, so I wanted to kind of dive in on this a little bit more closely. All right, so on waterfront lot sales, and this is through the this is the month of September. And in September of 21, we had 17 sales, and in September of this year, we had 24 sales. So we're actually, for lot sales, we're actually up 41% for Lake Martin for the month of September. And also I would like to look year to date. Again, this is not to scale, but we had through the end of September in 2021, we had about 102 waterfront lot sales. This year, we had about 90, so we're actually down about 10% year to date. So if we look at our sales trends for waterfront lots, even though we are up in the month, we are down year to date about 10%. All right, so let's look at our inventory numbers. Before I go with that, our 5-year monthly sales, they're a little bit more. They're about 14. So we're actually beating our 5-year average in monthly sales. But again, the trend for sales is down. All right, so what's our inventory doing? This in the month of September last year, we had about 71. This year, we have about 75 lots for sale, so we're actually up about 5%. Our 5-year average is about 78 this time of year. So we're kind of pretty much right at our 5-year average for our inventory, and even though our lot sales are down about 10%. So really, to me, the biggest and most interesting thing to look at home sale wise, which I want to go back to, and which I teased you with a little bit on the front of this part of this video, was let's look at our home sales year to date. Our home sales year to date, I went back and I tracked it. If I can get this thing over there. Our home sales year to date through the end of September, and I went back several years to look. Okay, in 2013, we had about 173 through the end of September. And so in 14, that went up to 229. Then it went to 282. In 2016, it was 253. 293 in 17, down to 243 in 18. In 19, here's where it gets interesting. 293 waterfront home sales through the end of September in 19. Now look what it did in 2020. It went way up through the end of September, 370 home sales, and then it went back down to 298 in 21. So what is it so far this year? So far this year, through the end of September, is 230 waterfront home sales. Now this is from the Lake Martin MLS. It's all agents, all brokerages. It does not include developer sales or FSBO sales, but this is a good number for a trend. All right, so we're about 230 through the end, year to date through the end of September at Lake Martin. And so what made me think about this was, if you really look at it, we're pretty much trending down. Even, I mean, forget about the Corona years. We're not even trending as fast as the pre-Corona in PC, the pre-Corona years, right? I think we're on pace this year to sell about 260 waterfront homes through the MLS. Now, what does that mean for perspective? That's going to be the lowest amount since 2013. So my true or false was false, but not by much, because we're going to have, I think we're on pace to have about 260 waterfront home sales, the fewest in 9 years at Lake Martin. So I think it's definitely safe to say that home sales, waterfront home sales, are cooling off. Now, what has this done to prices? I think prices stabilized. I don't think they increased in 2021. Excuse me, 2022. The year's not over with yet, right? Obviously, I like to look at the whole year when I do prices. But that is my prediction. So if I've got a message to sellers here, it's the message I've been preaching to them all year long. The time to sell is now, because I think odds are we may be in for a price decrease next year. But again, time will tell. Listen, if you are thinking about buying or selling at Lake Martin, and it doesn't matter if it's going to be in 2 weeks or 2 years, if you found any of this content helpful to you at all, I'd love to be your agent. You don't have to wait until you're ready to pull the trigger. Many of my clients on the buying and selling side, I work with them for 5 or 6 years before we ever do anything, and that is normal. So if you're thinking about it in the future, if this was helpful at all to you, please reach out. My name is John Coley. I'm with Lake Martin Voice Realty, and I'm a full-time agent here at Lake Martin. And please reach out. I'd love to help you. And again, please subscribe to my channel, and that way I know that this content is meaningful to you. Thanks a lot.